Everybody, what's going on? I am Gregg Sussman, joined today by Tom Vecchio of FanDuel, who is here to give us the top plays on the board for Week 11 in daily fantasy. What's going on, Tom?
I'm doing good. Daily fantasy still cruising along. Season-long fantasy playoffs are right around the corner, so let's get to it.
I think this first player we're going to talk about is the most interesting, and that's Michael Thomas. He's your favorite receiver on the board. He's priced at $8,200. And we got famous Jameis back in the saddle. He's throwing the ball to Michael Thomas with Drew Brees out for at least the next couple of weeks here. You're buying Michael Thomas with Jameis Winston, who, let's be honest, didn't do all that much in the second half last week. I get they are playing a burnable secondary, but are you a little nervous about this Jameis-Michael Thomas connection here?
Yeah, this one's interesting, but I have plenty of faith in Michael Thomas. First of all, 8,200 I think is a really solid price tag on him when he normally should be up in the higher $8,000 range, $9,000 range. If we look back to last year when Brees was out, it actually didn't impact Michael Thomas all that much. We know he set all or broke all of those records last year. In the 5 games that we saw Teddy Bridgewater as the quarterback last year for the Saints, Michael Thomas had 8 receptions or more in 4 of the 5 games, 89 yards or more in 4 of the 5 games. In the one game he was under those totals, he had 5 for 54 and still had a touchdown. So for him, it really didn't matter who his quarterback was last year. Don't really expect to impact too much this season, considering he's going up against this burnable secondary, like you said, in the Falcons, who are allowing 37.5 FanDuel points per game to opposing wide receivers. That's the second worst in the league. They still have a 28 implied team total. The over-under still setting at 51. So combining all these things, I love the price tag, love the matchup. We would be buying into Michael Thomas, even if he was having a normal year, we'd be all over him against this Falcons secondary.
It hasn't been a normal year for anybody, certainly not Michael Thomas with all that he has been through with his injuries, his team-imposed suspension, and now Drew Brees out for this one. Yes, the Teddy Bridgewater connection with Michael Thomas was totally good. We'll see what Jameis Winston can do in what is expected to be his first start for the Saints this Sunday. Speaking of quarterbacks, let's go to old reliable. That's Ben Roethlisberger, who's priced at $8,000. He has a tasty matchup against the Jaguars here this weekend as the Steelers look to continue this undefeated streak. It was a tough game, tough sledding in Cincinnati, but Roethlisberger and the Steelers offense, well, they didn't have much of an issue. We expect more of the same here on Sunday.
Yeah, exactly. This matchup against the Jaguars is absolutely phenomenal. They have a 29 implied team total. That's the second highest on the board. The Jags are allowing 23.7 FanDuel points per game to opposing quarterbacks. That's the third worst in the league. Now, everyone might talk about Big Ben and his home road splits because they're on the road in Jacksonville. But if we look at this season, he has 12-1. That's TDs and interceptions at home this season. He has 10-3 on the road in 4 starts, 10 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. But all 3 interceptions came in one game against Tennessee, and that put him at 15 FanDuel points, which certainly isn't a lot. He had 15 FanDuel points again against Baltimore, certainly not a lot. But in the other 2 games against weaker defenses, he had 22 FanDuel points or more. So we're looking at some actually solid production from Big Ben on the road. We can hopefully throw out those narratives. We have a super strong implied team total, a phenomenal matchup against the Jags. I want to be going back to the Steelers this week.
With that matchup, I agree. You throw out the home road splits, and it's just been a career-long home road split for Ben Roethlisberger that fantasy analysts have looked at. I don't think it matters here much this week, much this year, because of how well the Steelers are playing in this matchup with all of the weapons at Roethlisberger's disposal, back at practice without having to sit out because of COVID restrictions. Roethlisberger in a good spot against Jacksonville. Finally, top running back on the board for you this week, Tom, is, well, top running back in the league. I was saying the NBA. In the NFL, it's Daven Cook. He's priced at $10,500. It is a hefty price to pay, but something that you deem worth it. Why Cook over Alvin Kamara? Why Cook over Ezekiel Elliott out of the bye? Why go with Daven Cook in this matchup?
So first of all, we want to be buying into some of the simple things. A home running back, a player that could get 20 plus touches, not only a home running back, but a home favorite. And we have those things with Cook. They're up against the Cowboys. The Vikings are 9.5 point home favorites. They have a 29.5 implied team total. That is the highest on the board. Now, last night, he didn't have a touchdown. It was his first game all season where he didn't have a touchdown, ended with 13 FanDuel points, which is okay. But if we look at the other stuff, we saw him with 34 total touches, with 4 touches in the passing game, seeing about 2, 3, 4 targets every game. So besides the fact that he didn't have a touchdown, he still was over 100 combined yards, still had 30 plus touches. Now has a good matchup against the Cowboys. They're around league average, rallying was it 21 FanDuel points per game to opposing running backs. Home favorite, like I said, like we should be buying back into Daven Cook having another touchdown this week against the Cowboys.
Cook has been on fire as of late. Let's buy into the fact that he can get over 20 touches, that he can just dominate the line of scrimmage and can break one at any time. Daven Cook worth the money and the hype this weekend on FanDuel. That's going to do it for us here on the Hurry Up. Tomorrow, we'll be joined by Megan Nunez as we go over her top plays and picks for this weekend in the NFL. Tom Vecchio, we appreciate the time, man.
Talk to you on Thursday. Have a good one.
Absolutely. Tom and I will be back on Thursday to chat about the top value plays on the board that you're going to pair up with these stars. For Tom Vecchio, I'm Gregg Sussman. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you back here tomorrow for another edition of the FanDuel Hurry Up.